Mr. Mayor, tell us about your childhood yourself.
Okay. Firstly, I think it could be best if I introduce myself. My name is Kagisho Sonyoni. I'm the executive mayor of Plaatje Municipality. I've started school at Mulabang Primary School, moved to Isaro Primary School, and then we got transferred again back to Mulabang Primary School because of it was the transition of primary and intermediate phase. So I had to go back to Mulabang to complete my grade 7. Immediately after that, moved to Village High School. That's where I have completed my secondary schooling. Immediately after that, in 2013, started school in Northwest University as a first year student, economics student. Completed an honors degree with the Northwest University, Mafikeng campus. Currently busy with my master's in economics with the University of Free State. Hopefully, if everything goes alright, this year I will be a graduate with a master's degree next to my name. So hopefully, if things can go my way, I will be called a master's graduate in economics. So let's just pray that I do complete it on time, because of this degree means a lot to me and I'm putting too much effort on it. So I really need to achieve this one. Immediately after that, I would like to be called one day a doctor. So meaning I won't stop here. I'm going to continue with my studies up until the bitter end. Thank you very much.
But what gives you the urge? Why do you want to be called a doctor one day?
I think it is paramount important that we as leaders of society, we should be at the forefront to make it a point that we make these things fashionable, like your education. We should be like exemplaries to our constituencies to show them that it is possible. Once we can achieve it, they can also achieve it. And I've been very passionate with education at an early childhood stage, whereby I could not go to bed without me sleeping. So my mind is already used to it. So I think it could be paramount important that we should champion these things as we move forward within our society to make sure that our constituencies feel that they can also do it, so that they can move forward with the education fashion. So I think it's also important that to understand the basic needs that our people are experiencing at these higher institutions, so that we can relate to them as to the challenges that they are experiencing at higher education, so that we should also be able to help where we can moving forward in terms of your finance, in terms of your moral support and your books. No, thank you very much.
And your home, where I take it you were born in Kimberley. Exactly where?
Yes.
No,
I was born in Kimberley. I was born in John Daga Phase 1. That's where I currently reside. And there is one thing about myself. I'm one of the executive mayors that decided that he's going to stay within the location, because of part of the reason is that I need to stay with my people where I am from, to understand the basic challenges that they go through on a daily basis. So I will be residing in Jondaga for a very long time, and I do not intend on moving out. Stay there, stay with my people in the community. I am also a ward councillor of the community, so it could be paramount important for me to be within the constituency that made me a councillor and also a mayor. So I am a ward councillor of Ward 8. Ward 8 is a place in Jondaga. It covers areas like your Jondaga, Phase 1, your Dongo Road, your Seven the Land, your Inkandla. Inkandla is a permanent settlement next to the parliament, and also a place called Helen Joseph Extension. They form part of Ward 8. Ward 8 is a unit that is divided into 6 subunits within it. So I am responsible for all 6 areas that are within that community. But beyond that, I am also a tutor. I also do give lessons to economic students. But ever since now I've started with the journey, my time with them is no longer like before. So now it's limited because of, you have to understand that I'm dealing with the bigger challenge now. I want to get Kimberly to become a metro. Hopefully one day it will. So I am putting more effort into it to make it a point that Kimberly becomes a developed city.
Tell us more about your childhood. As a child, except reading, what more did you do?
Okay.
Or how did you play? How did you grow up?
Okay, growing up, I used to be in love with football even today. So as a child, I started playing football at an early age of 7 years old for a team in Mondile Street. The team was called Black Vultures. So that is where I started playing football, trained intensively, got involved in many sporting activities up until I left football at an age of 21 years. My last team that I've played for was White City, situated here in White City. That was my last team under the leadership of Comrade Pisani. He was my coach. So from time to time, most of my time, I would be at gym. After gym, I would be back to my books. You must understand there's one thing that gym does to your body. Gym releases the pressure, stress, whatever that you have during the day. It eases you. And then I would conclude my day by reading. Also, I am a draft player. I'm very good at it. We would also spend more time on it just to open your mind, your sense of thinking. So basically, I am a person of a jack of all tricks. I do many things at the same time. And I think also I must make mention of the fact that in my tenure as an individual, I also went to a point whereby I was at the military at some stage. I was also a lecturer at some stage at the University of Plaatje. So basically, I am a jack of all trades. I have many skills. I've got many capabilities. I am an all-in-one. I can complete many things. Yes.
And the family, do you have siblings? Your parents, what are they doing? How was life at home?
Okay. I do have a single parent. At the age of 9 years old, I lost my mom. And then I went to stay with my granny who is the mother to my father. Stayed with the family. My dad's sister, which is my aunt, and my granny and my dad. I have been raised under them at John Daga, staying with them up until today. I'm staying with my granny, and it's just that now my dad is staying on his own now at a place called Tuto, but every day he visits the family. So basically, I am a granny's boy. I've been groomed by my granny, taught how to clean, taught me how to cook. So I am an independent individual. I can do many things on my own.
So you're not a spoiled brat?
No, I'm not a spoiled brat. One thing about myself, I grew up through difficult times that made me who I am today. That is why whenever I look back at my situation, I always remind myself that, young man, it is possible. The future is yours. You can change many things within society.
Any siblings from your mother's side?
No.
So you were the only child?
I was the only child for my mother. But my dad do have three more
other children.
Yes.
Okay. Quite interesting. And no. And in terms of discipline, you said yes, your grand taught you to be independent. In terms of discipline, who was more the disciplinarian, your father or your granny?
Yeah.
Or the aunt?
But it was my granny. My granny is one person that if maybe you do wrong, she won't leave it just like that. Why? Because of she wants you to understand that this is wrong, this is how you correct it, so that you must not repeat the very mistake again. I am from a childhood whereby I knew that if I can cross the boundaries, I'm going to be beaten up. It's either with a shoe or a belt. So that's one thing about myself. I've been trained how to behave. I've been trained as to there is no boundary that you have to pass, because of once you pass that boundary, automatically there will be consequences for yourself. That is why even if up until today, I always think before I take a decision, because of I know there are repercussions with taking uninformed decisions.
And your political involvement or passion with the politics, where did it develop?
It developed at an early age where I was at the university, got involved in student politics. That is why up until today we are found there. And also I must make mention of the fact that I'm still a member of SASCO in the University of Free State, because of I am a student of the University of Free State. That is where our ranks are found. I'm also part of the RTT, the Regional Task Team Youth League of Francis Bart. I also represent the structure there, and I must make mention of the fact that I was a former branch leader of the ANC Youth League in Kopano branch. But today I serve in the regional structure of the ANC Youth League in Francis Bart. That is where currently I am, and today, up until today, I'm still serving under that structure.
So, as a child, when you were growing up, how did you see your future? Did you decide to be an academic, or did you see yourself as a politician or in the army, or what were your aspirations?
My aspirations was to see myself, as I've explained earlier on, that one day I would like to be called a doctor. So it was within me, as I've been growing up, to say that education is the key. So I wanted to become an academic. But then through times, you also realize that also to become an academic, you must also be a leader in society to change the lives of our people. That is where now I am doing two things at the same time. I am a politician this side, I'm also an academic. Because of part of the reasons that these are the twin tasks that you should fulfill in your journey as an individual, to make sure that you balance your life as an individual moving forward. So basically now I am a politician, and at the same time I'm also an academic, doing two things at the same time.
But then the future, where do you see yourself? Okay, fine, there you are now Dr. Sonyoni. All right, and then what are you going to do now?
Wish me luck. Maybe I might become the next president of South Africa.
So in other words, you'll still continue with your political involvement?
Yes, definitely.
So that's where you see yourself?
Yes, we want to change the lives of our people. So I'll always become an activist of society to make sure that our needs and demands within society are met. We should champion and galvanize the interest of our people within society. Most importantly is that we should always inspire and encourage young people to do more within society.
Let's just go back to that day when you were elected. Or let's go back to the day at the rally when the president was here. Remember when they were lifting you up, when the president was saying, "Here is your next mayor." It was not the exact words, but I remember he said something along those lines. And at some stage, everybody just lift you up. How was the feeling? How did you feel like?
No, it was overwhelming. Like, came as a shock to say how. Here you are, young man, here's your time. And pronouncement has been made that you are the next mayor. Like, I was shocked. Even today, I'm still asking myself this question. Wow, how did I really make it? But here am I. I'm channeling nicely into the process. I'm moving in a municipality whereby we need to change many things. But I think I am in the right step, I'm in the right direction. And I'm sure as you've moved around, you've also seen maybe there are some few developments that you might see, but moving forward, you will see bigger developments as to the city changing. That's part of the reason why we were elected, to make sure that we change the face of the city, to make it the city that it was before, the sparkling city, the diamond city, whereby investors would want to come and invest in a city that is clean, a city that is free from crime. So part of the reason is that we should always maintain and try the discipline within our workers so that this city becomes the city that we knew before, called the diamond city, the sparkling city. So that is where I'm moving to. I want to make sure that the investors, when they come in, they see, no man, here we are investing in a clean city, a city which is safe from crime, a city that has no political instability. Therefore, it is paramount that we should move forward investing in the city, because of there is no investor who will want to invest in a dirty place, a political unstable place, a place whereby there's no leadership within the municipality. So I think we are moving into the right direction. Sooner or later, you will see major developments within Salt Lake Municipality.
And then on that day when they roped you, when they put that rope and then when they put the chain, everything around you, how was the feeling on that day?
I was very emotional. I was happy. It was a mix of feelings. And as I was doing roleplay there, I looked directly straight into my granny. I saw her cry. Also made me very emotional. So what I'm asking myself, even up until today, what was she thinking that day? She said, here's my boy, Robin as the executive mayor of Salt Lake. Even up until today, I've never asked her that question, but I think since you have brought it up again, so you are bringing me back again, so I think I should engage her and then just ask her, how did you feel when you saw me that I am the mayor of Salt Lake? So basically what I'm saying is that there was a mix of feelings. Everyone was happy, some were emotional, some were angry. But basically what I'm saying is it was a lot of emotions happening at the same time. Sometimes during the process I became confused. Like everything was happening within minutes. Like, like you still ask yourself many questions. Really, you? Wow. So basically, yeah, it was mixed emotions.
If you compare the day when you receive your degree, when we're graduating at university, if you compare the day when you were graduating and the day when you were robed, which one really has an impact?
Yeah, no, I think basically we should start there. The one that had a big impact in my life is my degree. Because part of the reasons for me to become a mayor, it's also because of the level of education that I've went to. So the degree that I have obtained means a sentimental value to myself, because of without it I could have not been the person that I am today, because without the degree I could have been just a councillor maybe, perhaps. So the degree holds sentimental value to wherever I go, wherever I am. I always tell myself to say that look where you are because of education. So that is why I'm saying to you that education, it means a lot to myself. That is why I want to make it fashionable, so that young people that are coming after me should see that without education, sometimes you cannot achieve other things. But I'm not saying that education is everything. But basically what I'm saying is that at least an educated person can make sound decisions. Educated person can make informed decisions. Therefore, I would encourage young people to make it a point that at least try and achieve, even if it's a certificate. It might change and it will change their lives at some stage in life. Not immediately, but sometimes if you are lucky enough, it can happen on the spot immediately after your graduation. Like myself, I immediately got an internship immediately after graduating from my honors. I got an internship, but I could not work at that internship for a longer period of time, because I was so excited to receive a call from the Salt Lake Municipality Salt Lake University to indicate to me that I am going to start as a lecturer. So you need to compare. You see yourself, you are in Pretoria, you are being called back home. Firstly, what you think as an economist is that you are going to save on rent, so you won't be paying rent. So it's an opportunity for you to go back home at an institution that can build you also as an individual to say, yeah, you will be having experience in lecturing, so why don't you move for these things since you want to become an academic. So I think this is the right field that I moved into it by that time. But then all of things happen. Here am I now. I am leading an institution. I am the number one citizen of the city. Yes.
Quite interesting. Life is really unpredictable.
It's unpredictable.
You sit and you think, okay, I've figured it all.
Yes.
And then just within a wink of an eye, then this happens.
Yes.
Oh my God. Friends, so how have being a mayor, obviously it came with a lot of responsibility. It also, I think it has also invaded your social life, your private life. How has that affected you?
They are saying that it's difficult to accept change, but if you are determined to achieve what you want in life, you will have to make sacrifices. So basically now, what I've done, what I'm actually doing now, is that I've put myself in the shoes of other individuals to say that if you're not available, how will the community feel? That is why I am 24/7 available. My phone numbers are all over. People can call me anytime. So now my social life, I have cut everything off because of I should be an example within the city. I should be seen as the first citizen that is going to champion the interest of people. So there are many things that have changed in my life. Sometimes I become emotional, but I need to accept the fact that I am no longer the same Kagisho that I've been before. I am a number one citizen that should be seen as a respectable person. I can't be found loosely so in the street because of it might taint also my image. That is why you would find me always at home. If I'm not at home, I'm on the ground. Look, even December, Christmas, people were thinking that I'm mad. You know what I did? I was wearing my boots. I think it was raining that day. I was wearing my boots and my overall, doing oversight alone, walking around in my community, making sure that I pick up all the things that I see whenever it's raining. Because of sometimes we tend to wait up until the rain should happen before we see damages. So what I did, I was within that rain to see the challenges that we have. And one of the things that I've picked up in that December, I've picked up that they say, is it a four-way? There's a four-way within my community, whereby whenever it's raining, water is dumping there. What I did now, we have cleaned the tunnel. So now, even if it's raining, it's no longer that big water that we used to see where cars could not pass now. Cars can pass now even if when it's raining. So we have cleaned that thing. The only thing that thing needs now, that tunnel, it needs now monthly maintenance. You see, that's one thing that we should do in the municipality, is to regularly maintain our facilities. Because of once we maintain, there will be minimal problems. Like for instance, your stormwater channels. If you clean your stormwater channels monthly, even if it's raining, you won't see those big dams that you see of water whenever you are using your car. And once our stormwater channels are cleaned, it simply means that water is going to flow. Water won't be dumping on the roads. And that's one thing that is going to alleviate potholes. We won't be having so many potholes once our stormwater channels are cleaned. So the basic task that we should do as a municipality firstly is to make sure that we maintain these stormwater channels so that we avoid these things pothole, because of it can't be that every time we fix the roads, but once there is a rain, we'll still have to go back there. You know why is that happening? It's because of the water is standing there. The water is not flowing. So once the water flows, there won't be any more these big potholes that you see around Plaatje. But that is part of the projects that I'm currently busy with. I want to assemble a team called War on Stormwater Channels. We will only be working with stormwater channels. They will be cleaning them, making sure that these things are cleaned. Because of now we are going to Easter. You know those rains of Easter are very traumatizing. So I think now we are on the right track whereby we need to start with these stormwater channels so that people must clean them now immediately, so that once the time comes, we are prepared. We are prepared to sustain these rains. So once we are done with our stormwater channels, we are going to close and make sure that these photos that you see around Kimberley will be something called history under my term.
How is the relationship now between Wena and Grain? Now that you are number one citizens.
She's overprotective. She's very protective. She doesn't want to hear anything. Like, even if you come there and then you say you want Kagisho, she's going to direct you where Kagisho is, but she will want to know. So like, very protective, man. Like now, sometimes white boards are is my life safe, all of those things. But then she has made peace with the fact that I am a public servant. I will be wanted by anyone, anytime. Even if it's a two, they will have to make peace because of I represent the community. There was a time in my community whereby there was fire blazing at past 3 a.m. A shake burned down. Got called 2 to 3 times. The third time I'm hearing it from they are surprised. They don't know, I've been called. There's a shake that is burning there. No, it's not safe. No, but I am a public representative. I need to be there. I need to be the first one there. Even if the firefighters can come, they must find me there. And that's basically what happened. The community was happy to see me there. Then I immediately respond to their calls and to their situations. And what happened also there, it was very devastating. One of the owners of the check lost his life. It was too much. It was too much. And by that time, we did not know whether this person was inside there. Because of the stories that we received was that this guy was attempting to do suicide. So it happened that he found himself in there. So the firefighters came and they solved that thing.